Today, I want to share a story with you. It's a really personal one from a 73-year-old widower named Peter Whitmore. And honestly, it's about a long marriage, a really painful regret, and a lesson he's begging all of us to learn before it's too late.
Wow, just imagine hearing that. Those were the last really significant words Peter's wife, Susan, said to him before she passed away. Think about that for a second. At the very end of a life spent together, it's a sentence that just cuts right to the bone, and for Peter, it changed everything. And get this wasn't after a few rocky years. These words came after 41 years of marriage. 41. That sheer length of time, it just gives her final words this incredible, almost unbearable weight. It forced Peter to look back and re-examine every single thing he thought he knew about their life together.
Okay, so this brings us to the first really big idea here, the difference between being comfortable and being truly connected. At first, Peter was just confused by what she said. In his mind, they had a good marriage. They didn't really fight. They'd built a whole life. Everything was stable. They were, comfortable. But what he was about to realize is that being comfortable, it's not at all the same thing as being connected.
This right here, this really breaks down that huge disconnect. See, on Peter's side, he saw his job as being solid, reliable, paying the bills. And look, those things are absolutely important. But what Susan was desperate for was something else entirely. She needed him to be curious about her, to be present, to be vulnerable, to be engaged in their life with her, not just living beside her. They had basically become polite roommates. And that's how it happened, which brings us to this idea of 1,000 small neglects. See, their marriage didn't fall apart because of some big dramatic betrayal. There wasn't an affair, no single explosive fight. Instead, it eroded, slowly, through what Peter now calls these thousands of tiny, unremarkable moments of dismissal that just added up, year after year. Here's a perfect example of what I mean. Susan would make these little bids for connection. She'd suggest new things, trying to build a new memory with him, to create something together. And Peter's replies, well, they always seemed practical, didn't they? I'm too tired. Work's too busy. We'll have time later. But they were so damaging. He didn't see these as crucial moments to connect. He saw them as optional little extras that could always be pushed off. He figured, hey, I'm handling the big stuff. We'll always have more time for the small things. Or this one. Think about what she was really asking. She wasn't just asking about dancing. She was asking to reconnect with the guy she fell in love with. She was trying to recapture a little piece of that joy they used to have. It was a call to remember who they were to each other. And this is how it happens. Every single maybe later was a tiny rejection. It was a message that said, us, we're not the priority right now. And over time, all those little postponements, they build a wall. Until one day, she just stopped asking. This is where the story gets really tough. This brings us to the unseen loneliness. During Susan's last few weeks, when all the usual excuses of being too busy or too tired just fell away, the real truth finally came out. And that's when she told him about a lifelong dream that he had just casually dismissed for years. Her dream was to see Scotland. And this wasn't just some random vacation idea. It was about connecting with her roots, with her family, with her grandmother's home. She'd brought it up so many times over the years, and Peter's answer was always the same old thing. It's too expensive, or we'll do it someday. And of course, someday never came. And this is the line that just breaks your heart. When Peter asked her why she didn't just push harder, why she didn't just insist they go, this was her answer. She didn't want him to just go along with it. She wanted his enthusiasm. She wanted him to care about her dream just because it was hers. And that's when Peter realized it. The real enemy in their marriage wasn't anger or fighting. It was something way quieter and way more lethal. It was indifference. That slow, creeping complacency that sets in when you just stop trying, when you stop being curious about your partner and just assume they'll be there tomorrow. After Susan passed away, Peter found her journals. And reading them, well, it just confirmed his absolute worst fears. She wrote about feeling completely alone, even when he was sitting right there in the same room. She described it as him being physically present, but emotionally a million miles away. She said it felt like screaming into a void, just devastating. So Peter's story is full of regret, right? But his whole reason for sharing it is to turn that pain into something powerful for the rest of us. He's sending out this urgent message. Please, don't make my mistake. So what do we do? What's the actual lesson here? He wants us to start by asking ourselves this. And he doesn't mean talking about bills or who's picking up dinner. He means a real, actual conversation. One where you learn something new about the person you share your life with. So honestly, when was the last time you talked about their dreams, their fears?
And then there's this one, which is all about our actions. When was the last time you did something for them just because? Not for a birthday, not for an anniversary, but just a small, simple thing because you were thinking of them and you wanted to see them smile.
And finally, this one. It's so easy to get caught up in the day-to-day that we forget to even see the person right in front of us. So when was the last time you just stopped and looked at them and felt that wave of genuine gratitude that they are in your life? This is the ultimate defense against that indifference Peter's warning us about.
So Peter's whole lesson really boils down to these 3 simple but powerful actions. First, choose curiosity. Even after years, decades, keep asking questions. Second, prioritize presence. That means put the phone down, turn the TV off, and actually be there with them. And third, act with intention. Show your love through deliberate, thoughtful action.
And I think this is the most crucial point of all. Love isn't some passive feeling that you just fall into and then you're done. It's not a noun. It's a verb. It's something you do. It takes work and attention and effort every single day. Which brings us right back to where we started, back to Susan's final profound words. It's a question that cuts through all the little arguments and frustrations of daily life. In any given moment, what are you choosing? What's more important, being right or being close? Peter learned the answer far too late. The question for us is, will we?